1957, New York City, Yankee Stadium, Billy Graham Crusade.
Until this moment, the greatest crowd ever to attend one evangelistic meeting in the United States was in the Cotton Bowl, Dallas, 1953. 75,000 were there. More than 100,000 are here.
Okay, crowd hoaxing. No, there was not 100,000. Maybe there was 10,000. But they fill in the seats with photographic trickery. You take a still shot of people seated down, then you just kind of multiply it over and blend it in. So it looks like every seat is taken in Yankee Stadium. Probably not true.
And now we have a very special guest this evening, and we're going to ask Mr. Billy Graham to come and introduce that guest for us. I think the man that I'm going to introduce is probably one of the hardest working men in the United States. He has certainly brought new luster to the office of Vice President. He has become America's #1 ambassador of goodwill. It's been my privilege to follow in some of his footsteps in other parts of the world and found his popularity tremendous overseas wherever he has gone. He's a young man with vision, and I found him to be a man of humility and integrity and courage. And we invited him here tonight, and I think that whatever your party affiliation, and I'm sure that there are Democrats as well as Republicans here, that we all admire him as a great vice president and as a loyal American. He came from a Christian home. He has a Christian heritage. And we appreciate his taking time out of his busy schedule to be with us here.
On introducing the Beatles again, may I point out that they'll be on our show, as I told our audience, for the next 2 Sundays. Next Sunday from Deauville Hotel in the Miami Beach show starring Hollywood's exciting Missy Gaynor. So, ladies and gentlemen,
Yankee Stadium tonight, Vice President Nixon.
So you can see how they crowd hoaxed that. They just blended all those little dots in there, make it look like the place is packed. It's not really packed.
Dr. Graham, distinguished guests on the platform.
Now you can take Sullivan's voice and raise it a little bit the way he does on the Ed Sullivan Show, and they can even do this through editing to make his voice sound a little higher and a little different, like on the Ed Sullivan Show. Then it's dropped a little bit here to make it sound a little deeper for Richard Nixon. So I'm going to take you to my channel Who's Who in Hoaxology, and I reserve this channel just pretty much for identifying figures, and I've got actually 4 videos on there with Ed Sullivan portraying Richard Nixon, and interestingly enough, on neither one of them did I use the picture, but I'm just using other means to identify. Usually I use the picture. Hey, this is a photograph of Ed Sullivan, the famous Ed Sullivan of the television show, the variety show. And one of the things that Ed Sullivan loved to do was to fold his arms. And oftentimes he would come out on stage and talk with his arms folded, or she talked, depending upon how you want to see these actors. Now here's another photo of Sullivan with both arms folded. Now, I'm not sure all the reasons why Mr. or Ms. Sullivan liked to do this, but it might have been because he or she had terrible intestinal problems. And I recall reading in a book that many times he had to, quote, pump his own stomach. So this character might have been in a lot of pain by standing in this particular fashion and then talking to people. So this is a rather simple video. I'm going to show you someone else who adopted that particular stance. I need to turn my light on and I think I got too much light there for you. So, take a look at this one. You know who you're looking at? Richard Nixon. Now you might be saying, I need more evidence. Well, there's a lot out there, and I have some videos on one of my channels where I will do a lot more with this. But this is just a simple, quick video based on stance. Okay, now if you want to see the other videos that I did with Pat Nixon and Ed Sullivan's wife as Pat Nixon, you just go to this channel, Who is Who in Hoaxology. But back to the Billy Graham crusade. They're all in cahoots. They all work together, meaning that Billy Graham puffs Richard Nixon, and Richard Nixon puffs Billy Graham, and Randolph Hearst puffs Billy Graham. Everybody puffs. And that term puff was used by J. Randolph Hearst to put Billy Graham into the spotlight. He said, "Puff Graham." And that would have been around 1947, I believe, at the LA Crusade. So this crusade in 1957, Graham's had about 9 or 10 years of experience, and he brings on his stage the Vice President of the United States. Now, it's no problem for the Vice President to be there because the Ed Sullivan show is, or the Toast of the Town is working out of New York City at the time.
Behind me, and ladies and gentlemen, may I first bring to this great audience here in Yankee Stadium and those who are listening on television and radio a message from...
And may I say this, I'm not a crook. And I also would like to say I never gave my dog Checkers back. That dog belonged to Pat and I. Checkers, we love Checkers. We hope that you'll love Checkers too. Hey, thank you for watching my video. End of video.